Hey guys, Kelly Walters here, and yes, today is talking about creating some spirit wear. But the cool thing is, if the spirit wear market isn't really the type of market you go after, don't worry. I'm still going to show you how you can execute a two-step mixed media decoration for a sweatshirt. The other thing is, I'm going to show you one of my favorite sweatshirts from LAT. So you can still get a lot of great information in a short amount of time in this video. We are going to go over why the decoration materials that I'm choosing are really going to make an impact this season, and it's super important when you're creating spirit wear or you are going after orders for those schools, whether it's anywhere from elementary up to, say, universities. You want to make sure that your decoration method can stand out and really create something that people want to buy. That's the whole point and the reason why we're in this business, right? Is to create really cool garments that people want to buy so you can make money, right? Okay, so we are going to do a close-up of this material. We'll go step by step on that mixed media application, and of course you're gonna get to see the garment. So let's go ahead and check out the materials that we're using before we dive into the sweatshirt. Okay, so one thing I absolutely love to do is really create unique decoration. And I understand that this may not be for everybody, but let me tell you something. When you do something different, when you do something unique, it always warrants a higher price. Now, we are using two of my favorite materials, and if you've watched some of our content lately with me or attended shows, you know I've been talking about Chroma Twill a whole bunch. And of course, one of my absolute old-time favorites is soft metallic. Now, both of these materials are part of our CAD cut collection. And what that means is you can either order either one of these materials in a roll, like something behind me, or you can actually upload your artwork onto stahls.com. We can cut the transfer for you and send it to you ready to be applied. Now, because we have two different medias and two different colors, just remember, if you're cutting at home, you want to cut each material separately. That way you have step by step when it comes to really going to the press and applying any and all colors that you want. Now, I could really turn this into something crazy and do like 4 or 5 different colors, but I really want to touch on metallic because we are seeing more and more pops of soft metallic really kind of come back into retail. This doesn't have to be the entire design, but just a little really goes a long way. And especially if you are doing it on more of like a soft contrast. So the sweatshirt we're decorating on is going to be black and charcoal. So this is going to give us just a little bit of a pop. If you put it on white, it's going to have the same type of effect. Now, Chroma Twill, this is in one of the newer Chroma Twill colors, which is neon. So this is the neon orange. And when you look at this, you are going to be able to see a twill effect, which is super cool. We're going to have this iridescent type of hue to it. So of course, when it shifts in the light, you're going to get a little bit of, oh, is that glitter? Is that a shimmer? Is that a metallic? But you're going to also have a little bit of raised dimension. So in terms of trends, we're hitting on dimension, we're hitting on texture, we're hitting on a shine or a sheen that's going to give us a little bit of a gloss effect. So there's a lot going on here that really hits on those retail trends that we're seeing, but in only 2 hits, okay? So love them. Easy to use. Both of these are cold peel. And as we're walking through the application, because this is going to be 2-step, I will make sure I thoroughly go over what to do when both materials are cold peel. So you can do this easily in your shop, at your home, wherever your production facility is. So just remember, rolls, or we can send them to you ready to go, depending on what equipment you have at home. Now, let's go over this sweatshirt because I'm a sucker for a pattern, and I'm even more of a sucker for a tonal pattern. So this sweatshirt, LAT, does come in youth, and guys, it comes from small to, I believe, large. And what I'm decorating on right now is a youth medium. There is nothing changed about the quality of this simply because it is a youth. And one thing that's really, really cool is in this pattern, we could go as colorful as we'd like on the decoration, or we can go as simple, and it's actually going to cater to two completely different types of styles, especially for what youth like to wear. The other thing I want to keep in mind is when you're decorating youth garments, don't forget that they like really cool things too. So instead of just doing a basic tee or a basic sweatshirt with a one color, flat print on it, whether it be Ultra Color Max direct to film or goof proof screen printed transfers, think about ways that you can really add some life into that garment. Those kids are going to want that sweatshirt. They're going to want to wear it to school. And of course, what not better way if they have something that is very similar to what high school kids or college kids are wearing as well. So you don't have to change too much about what you're doing in decoration. Sometimes it can just be a simple change of the garment, or it could be a simple change of choosing a different type of media to have a little bit more of a wow factor. All right, we're going to the autoclam to press, so let me show you how to do this two-step mixed media look. Okay, now that we're at our autoclam, there's a couple of things that I do want to go over. I want to go over equipment, I want to go over accessories, and tell you why I'm utilizing these accessories to help me get this job done. First is our 16x20 Hotronix autoclam. This is a clamshell heat press, and when our timer is done, it's going to beep, very high pitch, and then automatically pop open to where I do not have to lift the heating element off of our garment. Now, I've actually switched out our 16x20 platen for an 11x15. Okay, so this was extremely easy to change out. So if you are new to printing on youth garments, the reason why we want to do this is I need a smaller surface area to work with. Those youth garments, guys, are pretty small, and we don't want them to stretch out, and then we're going to have some inconsistency with how our transfer or decoration method is actually going to work with that garment. Now, if you notice, mine looks a little puffy right now, and that's because I actually tucked in our 11x15 pillow underneath my platen cover. Now, the reason why I'm doing this is because I don't want to take a pillow and shove it inside a garment each time I need to do 25, 30 of these sweatshirts. I'm putting it underneath the platen cover so I can still thread my garment. I'll show you in a second. And I'm making it very efficient for me, knowing I've got a two-step process on this decoration. Now, soft metallic applies at 285 degrees, and our Chroma Twill applies at 302. I'm going to stay on that higher temp at 302, so I'm not sitting here waiting for my press to fluctuate between cooler and warmer. Now, what you could do, because both of these transfers are cold peel, is do your metallic at that 285, set aside, and go through all of your quantities or that number that you have to go through. Peel, then reload, and finish at that 302 with your Chroma Twill. There's a couple of different ways to do this, and the beauty of it is you get to choose, and there is no right way or wrong way as long as you are peeling at that accurate temperature, which is the cold peel, right? Otherwise, that material is going to lift right up. And then you're going to be mad that you just ruined a garment and potentially a transfer. Now, I am going to use a cover sheet for this so I can protect our heating element, and I also want to protect our garment. Because I have my pillow in here, we want to make sure that we are at a medium pressure. Right now I'm at a 4, and I want to make sure that I'm going to be a little bit less than that because that plushness of the sweatshirt is definitely going to increase our pressure. So let's go ahead and start threading. Now I've gone and adjusted just a little bit right here, this black knob. That is how we control our pressure. I am going to do a pre-press to not only make sure that our garment is nice and smooth, but to also double check our pressure. So right now I'm at a 5, and I'm actually going to take it down just a little bit. First product up,
is going to be our soft metallic. Now, both of these products apply at a slightly different temperature, 285 for our soft metallic and 302 for our Chroma Twill. Clearly, I'm having some issues here. So I'm gonna find the middle of this crease. And just keep in mind with a youth sweatshirt, you do want to go, or with a youth item, you actually want to stay a little bit closer to the neckline or the collar, simply because their bodies just are not that long to where we need to really drop down that logo. All right, remember we're only gonna tack this guy down for about 5 seconds. Now, this is a cold peel, so we have got to make sure that we let this completely cool down before we peel our carrier. All right, now the next thing to keep in mind is we did not apply this for the full 8 to 12 seconds. So as we are peeling, we need to make sure that we are 1, gentle, and 2, peel slow. That way, if we have any material raise up, we can catch it before we damage it. All right, so this is what it looks like before we apply our Chroma Twill. I actually think this looks pretty cool as well, seeing that you've got some of the characteristic of that hoodie coming through. All right, so threading it back on. Now remember, this is going to be the full 20 seconds. So now we're just going to lay that in our cookie cutter spot. And if you notice any spot is slightly off, just barely move that garment. Because since we had to peel, we took our item off of our platen, there's always a chance that as you go to really lay that item back on there, that you have somehow adjusted the spacing. This isn't something you can just, prevent or you did wrong. It's just because of how fibers work. And of course, we didn't do the full application for metallic because we want to make sure that we don't have any shrinking in our material. And of course, we don't need to heat apply that for 30 seconds. Okay, so we're pretty good right here. Next, I'm going to take our cover sheet, lay that on top, and then remember, we're going to go for the full 20 seconds. Now, because Chroma Twill is great to peel warm, but we do have that cold peel for that metallic, you really want to find a happy medium when it comes time to removing that carrier. So I'm going to take this off, set it aside, and we can check it out once it's cooled down. Now, once it's cooled down, just gently lift. And now you have this really cool neon effect with some twill type of texture, and of course, that beautiful pop of metallic just to really help enhance and bring out the pattern that we have in this sweatshirt. All right, so here is our finished garment, and guys, I'm pretty obsessed with this. It captures the texture, it captures the neon, it captures that bright, beautiful metallic. And you know what? Shout out to LAT for creating a garment that is so fun for the youth. Now, this style number is 2296, and again, it's LAT. So in this video, I showed you just how easy it was to apply mixed media 2 steps. We went over garments that are great for the youth and really creating something that is out in retail that these kids, that the youth is going to want to wear. And also, don't forget, when you're creating something that's unique, you're using different types of materials that you just don't see everywhere. It's always going to warrant a higher price. Be creative with spirit wear because I guarantee you they're going to want something that nobody else has. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I'm Kelly Walters, and happy decorating.